Today we're going to be talking about what $600,000 can get you in a home here in Raleigh, so stick around.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm Zach. This is my beautiful wife, Cindy. So what can $600,000 get you in Raleigh? So before we get started, I just want to go over a couple things. So when we talk about 600, we didn't stray very far from that number. So, you know, a little bit under, a little bit over, but pretty much right on the dot at 600 is what we're showing you today. And also, this isn't an all-inclusive list. There's other neighborhoods. We're just highlighting a few for the video purpose and to keep it viewable and to keep it short. So with that being said, the first neighborhood we are going to discuss is Wakefield. So the average price point in Wakefield is $625,000. So it keeps you right around the 600 mark, and you'll find a very wide variety in Wakefield. So you're going to find some just absolutely massive homes in Wakefield, some luxury homes. And you're going to find townhomes as well. So that's it's a wide range of options that are in Wakefield. Wakefield's going to be the furthest north neighborhood. We're actually going to be working north to south in this video. So Wakefield is very close to the Wake Forest area.
Yeah, and that being said, it's a Raleigh address, but I feel like if you live in Wakefield, you're probably gonna be doing a lot of like your shopping and things in Wake Forest. So Wake Forest is really nice because it's developed. Goodness, so much of it has been developed in like the last 10 years. There's a lot of like nicer, newer shopping developments that are there. That being said, it's a little bit cookie cutter feeling, very suburby, but that's not always a bad thing. So you've got, your Targets and, Wegmans grocery store is there, and Chick-fil-A, Krispy Kreme donuts, all that newer type stuff. But
Krispy Kreme was a random one to throw in there.
I don't know why. I guess I want a donut right now. Anyway, but one of our favorite parts about Wake Forest is it's very, very green, and there's like the Neuse River runs through it, and so there's a lot of access to like nature trails, and the parks are really nice there. So you have like the Neuse River Trail that runs through there. So if you're big into like biking or kayaking, I feel like Wake Forest is one of the better places to live in the Triangle, so you could take advantage of that. In addition to that, Joyner Park is probably one of our favorite parks in the Triangle as well, and that's located right near there.
And Wakefield is close enough to Wake Forest that when we did our top neighborhood video in Wake Forest, we actually included it in that video. Even though it's in Raleigh, it's so close to Wake Forest that it just makes sense sometimes to include it when you're talking about Wake Forest. But Wakefield is a great option for those looking for a neighborhood in Raleigh around the 600 mark.
So the next neighborhood on our list is called Stonehenge. Stonehenge is one of my favorite neighborhoods in the Raleigh area. I don't know why it's one of my favorites. I think just because the way it kind of feels when you're driving through it, it just has like a traditional feel. There's a lot of like mature trees. Each house is kind of unique and different. Similar to Wakefield, it kind of has a lot of variety as far as like home style and size, but the average for a home in Stonehenge is right at $600,000. So you see some that are well above that, and then you have some that are pretty far under. But if new construction is your vibe, Stonehenge is not gonna be for you. It's got a very like 80s and 90s feel to it. But I really like it. Maybe it's because it just makes me think of my childhood. I don't know. But it's a great area. I think one of the other things I love about Stonehenge is how close it is to a lot of like restaurants and coffee shops that I really like in the area in North Raleigh. So when you're in Stonehenge and you're really close to Sola Coffee or close to Gonza, which is like our favorite Mexican restaurant in the Triangle, and then you're just generally close to like Crabtree Mall, not too far from North Hills. So you have a lot of conveniences just being right there, and it feels very green.
Yeah, it does. All right, next up on the list as we are working down south is Meredith Woods. So what makes Meredith Woods unique is it is very close to the Beltline. So when I say the Beltline, I'm referring to Interstate 440, which creates the inner loop in Raleigh. The closer you get to the Beltline, typically the more expensive homes get. But the reality is you can also find homes close to 600 mark right by the Beltline, and Meredith Woods is a great example of that.
Right, and the reason that, you know, you're kind of looking through it, you're like, oh, these seem like they should be less expensive than 600,000 because they're significantly older feeling. You can kind of
like
feeling
a lot of like brick ranches, split levels. So.
Yeah, like, you know, 60s, 70s is kind of like the vibe through there.
Yeah.
But they do have bigger yards, which is nice.
They do.
And we have a lot of people that want
trees.
that kind of yard space, so that's really nice. And it's so close, like Zach said, to the highway, and it's also really close to a lot of amenities. Like you could walk. There's a shopping center right across the street from the exit of the neighborhood that's got a Food Lion, a Chick-fil-A. There's a good restaurant there, Village Deli. It's really good. We've been there a few times. There's a
Chubby Tacos.
Chubby's Tacos. Chubby's.
Yeah.
So you
I don't know what that was. Is that their slogan? Did you just make that up?
I just made it up. Chubby's, hire me for your commercials. But yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff just right there, which I think is what makes it appealing and kind of has that higher range price point, even though the homes are a little older and smaller.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, it's close to the fairgrounds. It's close to PNC Arena, which is where the Hurricanes play, which is a hockey team in Raleigh. Also where there's concerts and all that kind of stuff in Raleigh. It's close to the North Carolina Museum of Art, which has a really nice trail that goes around it. We were actually out there the other day, and there was this guy. He was making bubbles. Is that what you say? He was creating bubbles.
I don't know. Bubble artist.
But it was interesting because the dogs were happy, the kids were happy, and the adults were happy. All of the bubbles.
Everybody was chasing the bubbles.
It was really cool.
It was really funny.
Bubbles touch everyone.
He was giving major life at the art museum. It was better than Christmas, honestly.
But anyway, there's a trail there. It's just a really neat area. So Meredith Woods puts you right there with honestly a whole lot that Raleigh has to offer.
Definitely. So the last neighborhood we're going to hit today is a new construction neighborhood called Jameson. So it's not a huge neighborhood or anything, but it's just kind of an example of what you can find similarly all around in the southern part of Raleigh. So Jameson is a new build community. The homes in there are just right around 600, some are even a little bit under 600, so it's a little less expensive. And the reason we're kind of including it on our list is to kind of show you there's a big price difference in North Raleigh and South Raleigh. So to find homes like Jameson in North Raleigh would be probably in the 800s. I don't know, just an estimate.
Potentially,
so it's a lot more affordable, and there's just a lot more new build opportunity because North Raleigh's kind of built up, and what is currently being built in North Raleigh does tend to be luxury custom homes, or even going into older neighborhoods, tearing down decent houses and then making building giant mansions. So, you know, that's kind of more of the feel in North Raleigh. It's still beautiful, and we love North Raleigh, but South Raleigh has a little bit more of a rural feel when you're driving out around that area. Still really convenient to downtown. Probably even a little more convenient than being in parts of North Raleigh sometimes.
Yeah, potentially, depending on what part.
Yeah, and maybe slightly better with traffic. I don't know. It all can be kind of bad sometimes. But being out there, like NC State has a lot of farmland out there, and it's really pretty to drive through. They have I just always have called it NC State ice cream, but apparently it actually has its own name, Howling Cow ice cream. If you're from around here, maybe maybe let me know. Has it always been called Howling Cow ice cream, or are they trying to be cool now? Because I thought it was just called the NC State ice cream. I don't know. But they have kind of like a dairy farm there. It's part of their agricultural studies program. Really good ice cream. Definitely check it out when you're in South Raleigh. And also a great park to check out when you're around South Raleigh is called Historic Yates Mill Park. It was an old mill. It's actually over 200 years old. Really cool history. They even have a little museum there, which is really neat. But it's the only mill that's still here in Raleigh, so it's really cool. You know, they're not like making things there necessarily, but it's a really great park. There's a lake. They have a lot of like a little trail that you can walk around, little seating areas. So just a cute spot to check out while you're there and kind of enjoy walking through the museum and seeing the history of it.
All right, if you like this video, you feel free to check out our others. We have a lot of videos on the area, a lot of videos on different towns and cities in the area. So we love for you to check those out. If you have not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to be a part of the channel. You may have noticed the number on the screen earlier and back on the screen now. That is our number. We are licensed real estate agents in the area. So as much as we love to make these videos for you, we like to help you with your real estate needs even more. So feel free to call, text, email, whatever is convenient for you. You can also find us on Instagram.
Yeah, feel free to follow along with us on Instagram. You can find us at The Honeycut Realtors. We'd love to have you follow along with us there.
Yep. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh man, when we take a week off, we suck.
I know. I like your input there.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like, there was nothing else I needed to say. You said it
Okay.
all. I'll let you hit that up then.
Let the dump truck pass.
Wise decision. Chubbies. I don't. What was that?